am back with another Ship With Me video. I had an amazing weekend, so let's just get started right away and start shipping what sold from Saturday through Monday. First up is this Pearl Izumi. I'll show you the logo. It's a long sleeve cycling jersey. I have had this in my closet for quite some time. I have gone through phases of picking up cycling jerseys, and you know, Pearl Izumi is a pretty well-known name in the cycling community as far as their gear goes, but you know, probably not something I would pick up again. I know for a fact I got this at the bins. I probably sourced this, I would say, at least a year ago, probably about a year ago. I've also had a couple of brand new jerseys in my closet that have sold faster. This, because I've had it for so long, and I'm actually not wrapping this. It sold for $17, and not to be rude, but I'm just like, it's a $17 cycling jersey. I'm not gonna wrap this up. I'm just gonna stick it in the Tyvek envelope as is. There are no flaws on this jersey. It's in pretty good condition, but it's old. It's at least 15 years old. I hope the person in Arkansas loves their new jersey. That's how I'm sending this off today. Literally just in the bag, ready to go. Okay, the next item I sold was a Chicos Traveler sleeveless top. Now, Chicos Travelers is a very specific type of material. Reminds me of the 90s. I'm going to stand up to show the Chicos Traveler label. That's what it looks like. I will say something to keep in mind if you happen to pick up Chicos Travelers. People do seek out that specific line, Chicos Traveler, and what I would like to note about this is that this type of material, it's kind of like an acetate, very popular in the late 90s. It sometimes can have small holes in it, almost like, you know, you'll be surprised by a small hole in a cashmere sweater that you didn't notice. So what I like to do is I hold the item up to light and I look through the item, and that's a really easy way to determine if there are any little tiny holes that you might not notice. So I do recommend picking up Chico Travelers, and with that said, I also recommend making sure it doesn't have any holes. So one of the things I didn't mention, but I did on my last video, is as I am talking about what I sold an item for, I'm shedding, what I sold an item for, when I put the title on the screen of the item and then what it sold for, I'm actually putting my real naming convention. So if you're curious, you can see how I named an item that I sold. I don't have it right in front of me, but for example, let's see. This Chicos Traveler top I called Chicos Travelers Printed Tank Top, size extra large. Really nothing too compelling there. I didn't even sort of note what the color palette was of the item. You know, I'll usually put after the title but before the size black and white or something. I did say printed, but it's just kind of funny because I didn't really elaborate on that. I think it's important to get a sense of how people name items, and I have mentioned when I repost items that are 60 days old, I always look at how I have an item titled. I could have an item that I would think would sell fairly quickly that wasn't titled properly, and so it's just absolutely getting buried in search results because of the naming convention. So I really try to stay true to A, how the brand titles an item, especially if it's current on the brand's website, and B, you know, I just keep it simple. I don't put a lot of details about the item, usually color or things, in the title, simply because if I have a great photograph, the people are gonna see it's a striped shirt, it's a floral pair of jeans. So I don't always put it in the title, sometimes I do. So anyway, I'm gonna stick with my naming convention up on the screen just so people can see. Next up is a Spider. This is just a kid's ski jacket. Spider is a very popular ski wear brand, snow sports, however you want to dice it. This jacket in particular just has what you would expect as far as wear is concerned on it, as far as like just a little bit of dirt on the surface, like I'll show you, like this. It's just like minimal. This has been laundered, but when kids are out in the snow, skiing, falling, muddy conditions, spring, all of those things, it's just like bound to happen. So this I am actually putting in a bigger box. This is a $10.95 box. I'm also not wrapping this box either because, or I'm sorry, I'm not wrapping this jacket either because, I don't know, it's a kid's ski jacket. It's like, I feel like certain items feel like a present to the person, and this feels like a very practical item coming to the person. So I am just gonna stuff it in this box and send it on its merry way. That sold for $30. That was just the price I had it for in my closet because like I said, it had a little bit of, I don't want to say, it's not necessarily wear, but it does have a little bit of discoloration to it. Next up is a pair of Beta brand. This is just their very basic black pants, but these are actually a medium petite. I was really excited when I found these Beta brand pants. They get a lot of hype. I mean, if they weren't petite, I could have potentially tried them on and wanted to keep them for myself because it is nice to have a pair of comfortable office style pants. What I will say about this particular pair of pants, and I don't know if it's because it's petite or not, but I had a hard time selling these. These were definitely in my closet for that long haul marker. And when I say long haul marker, I probably bought these last winter or last spring and just really didn't get very much action. I think I had them in my closet for $32. I sent out my standard, 13% off and a shipping discount. And someone countered with, I want to say $16. And I actually just declined it. I'd love for these pants to go, but my goodness, if you look at comps, they really do sell upwards of $50. So I was like, I'm not selling these for $16. So I declined the person's offer. And then at one point, there might have been a little bit of back and forth, but they finally came back with a $22 offer from Liker, and so I accepted the $22. I'm moving on from the mistake of picking up Beta brand pants. I'm sure they're a hot seller for some people, just like figs scrubs. I've had figs new with tag scrubs. Sat forever. Finally sold them. Over half price off, and they were new with tags. So I'm just like, I used to spend a lot of time watching people's what sold videos, and I thought, oh, I was so excited to finally find figs, to finally find Beta brand, because oh my goodness, people can't keep them in their closet. Not me. I don't know. I guess my search algorithm doesn't default to some of these brands that people just love and can't get enough of. So for me, it's a hard pass. Oh man, this next item, I laugh. I have 2 Christmas items that I've sold, and I think the last video I had Christmas items, so I mean, so it is, friends. Like, whatever. Buy your Christmas items in January. This item is vintage. I'm going to show you the label, but it's not really that relative. The brand is Marissa Christina Classics, and this is from 1995. It's a turtleneck style Christmas tree sweater. So this is a quote unquote Christmas sweater. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Like, the colors of this for a Christmas sweater is just like, it's so pretty. And I have actually had this in my closet for quite some time, and I had it in my closet much higher before the holidays. And while I had some offers then, it was maybe closer to like $25 or something. So I passed on a lot of the offers. I sold this for $36 and a shipping discount. My net on this was $27. I most definitely picked up this sweater at the bins, and I think it's so pretty. If I ever had a thing for Christmas sweaters, I would want one that looks like this. I sort of laughed when I didn't sell it before Christmas. I had someone at one point say, hey, can you ship this out for me tomorrow? And of course I'm like, yes, I ship every day. Of course I can ship it tomorrow. And then they never bought it. It never worked out. It's not what I would consider to be an ugly Christmas sweater. So I guess it doesn't fit the bill for what a lot of people are seeking out, but it is a beautiful vintage Christmas sweater, and I hope the person loves it. I think it's so pretty. I could not leave it behind when I saw it at the bins. So this is also going in a box. This is another size box that I love using. I talked about the shoes in my last video, but this is also a regional rate A box. So they have like a rectangle version, and then they have more of the squat, let's call this the hot dog version, and then they have more of the hamburger style rate A box. And that other style of rate A box is the one that I ship the shoes in, the smaller shoes. So let's see. I also recommend this size box for something that needs a little bit more than a Tyvek envelope, but an item that you don't want to use, and I talk about this every video, I don't want to use a lot of packing materials. So I'm going to make this sweater fit in here. It's going to fill this box, and happily, I don't have to use excess waste. I also tape these boxes on all the edges, if you're wondering, and that solidly filled this box. This sweater is also going to Texas. Maybe it's been cold in Texas. I wonder what cold in Texas is. I wonder if it's anything like the 0-degree weather we have had for days in Colorado. I think it's finally warming up to 31 today. The next item I sold is this pencil skirt. The brand is called Kit and Ace. It's actually a really lovely company and brand, which I hadn't really heard of before I picked this up. That's what the tag on the outside looks like, and it also has a logo. It's like black on black, but it also has a logo here and really cute buttons. I have a love-hate relationship with selling black items. I had this in my closet for $38. I sent an offer to Likers that was $28 and $5.95 shipping. Someone countered offered with $25. So apparently the $2 was really important to this person, so I decided to accept a $25 offer. You know, I haven't had this in my closet for very long, and I decided to take the 25, but sometimes, you know, when people get really granular over $1 or $2, for some reason, I just like resist. I don't embrace, like, in the spectrum of things, it's such a small thing that I don't really quite understand what someone's reasoning is to save. So basically, when they sent the $25 counter offer, they had to pay full price shipping. So I asked for $2 more, well, $3 more, $28, but then they got $2 off of shipping. So basically, they made me an offer to save $1. I have opinions, but I sold it. It's out of my inventory and it's moving on to a new home. It's in very lovely condition. I actually think it would have been worth the $38 that I was asking for it. It's a really great brand. This is headed to Chicago. Ultimately, I sort of get to a point where I'm like, do I care? Do I want to go back and forth for a couple of dollars? And on this item, I decided, no, I don't want to go back and forth. I sent an offer. They're interested. I hope they use the dollar very well. Next up is a pair of, unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure how to say this, Ocel. I have sold a pair of swim bottoms by this brand before. It's like an active brand company. I don't really know, like, it feels like it could be like an Instagram popular brand. And these are just really super soft joggers. I am netting $17.48 on these. I sold them over the weekend for $24 and $5.95 shipping. I actually had, these pants had a lot of interest and I thought they would have sold sooner. I want to say I only had them listed for $32 in my closet, not super high. So they're a little bit pilled. They don't have like a very strong market value, and so I'm happy to see them go. I have sold a bikini bottom from this same company that was new with tags, and that sold fairly quickly. I also have a pair of running shorts from this brand that have been in my closet for a little bit longer. So I would still pick up this brand. If you see it, I say yes. Be on the lookout. It's a little bit harder to find. You know, it's not oversaturated is what I'm trying to say. So I think it's worth picking up, to be honest, because people seek out this brand, this activewear brand. And since there's not a lot of it, I think it's a good pickup. Especially especially if you can find it at the bins. I wouldn't say my Goodwill prices this higher either. Those were probably just sort of like the regular brand pricing. This next item I sold for $26. This is a J. Jill paisley style boho top, and this was a recent pickup as well. I sold this for $26. I normally price things like this in my closet for around $32, like a J. Jill dress or a J. Jill blouse. And then I anticipate getting about $25 for the item. So that did exactly how I expected it to do. Had it in my closet for $32, got an offer for $26, and sold it for $26. My camera just overheated, so I had to take a little break and I ate some breakfast, and now I'm back. The next item to sell was a Patagonia vest for $30. This is just a cinchilla vest, and it has kind of like a fun tie-dye vibe to it. I would normally anticipate this to sell for a little bit more, but I've had it in my closet for a little while. It is a medium, so it's not like it's a size that wouldn't appeal to a large group of people, but anyway, I sold it for $30. My local thrift store obviously marks up Patagonia. Like I've said, I live in Colorado. I source a lot of Patagonia. It's my second highest selling brand to Lululemon. So I always, for the most part, pick up Patagonia, even if it has some distressing or damage to it. And sometimes you just don't really know. Like, yes, I anticipate this Patagonia vest is gonna sell for $45, and it sold for $30. My next sale is a Bowden, just a jersey dress. I love picking up Bowden. This dress in particular is a very sweet colorway, and I'm noticing a little mark right here. I'm just gonna treat this mark really quickly, and then I will ship it this afternoon. I'm just gonna take a little bit of stain spray and a microfiber cloth, and I'm literally just gonna hit these two marks. It looks like to me, if an item kind of hits the floor and has like a little dust mark to it, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna do that right now. And back. I treated that, and I'm actually going to put the label on this and prepare it for shipment. That dress sold for $29. I would say I more than likely had it posted for something like $36. I think Bowden is $36 to $45, just their basic stuff. Above and beyond that, for their things that are a little bit more substantial. Next up, I sold these Golden Doodle pajamas. These are actually from my personal closet. They are not a special brand or anything to keep on the lookout for. The brand on these is The Crop Shop, and these came from my personal closet. Louis is indeed a Golden Doodle, and these were ordered, confession, off of Instagram. And that was the first time and the last time I will ever buy anything from Instagram. In like an ad that I receive. These came directly from China. I had purchased them for fun for a trip, and I ordered a pair for my daughters and I to sort of be fun matchy-matchy on our trip. And they maybe took 5 weeks to get to me from China. So anyway, I'm letting these pajamas go, and they really are adorable. My daughters still have theirs and wear theirs. I didn't like the fit of them. Their large was on the smaller side. I thought it would be a little bit more oversized for me because I typically wear a medium in pajamas, so I ordered a large, but unfortunately they just didn't really work out for me. It took me a long time to sort them out of my own personal closet because I love them. They're so cute. They're Doodle pajamas, but yeah, it's a fit thing. I need to move beyond like attachment to items. So I hope the person who bought these has an adorable golden doodle and loves them. Louis was in here earlier, but he left. He is sleeping in the other room. Next up is this Rose Apothecary sweatshirt. So if anyone is a fan of Schitt's Creek, Rose Apothecary this is a sort of Schitt's Creek merchandise. I sold this for $20. I didn't have it in my closet for a lot. That's exactly what I had it for. And it's off. It's got a little bit of pilling on the waistband. My labels are not cooperating because they're from a roll. So there are no major stains on this. There's just a little bit of wash wear, and $20. I got this at the bins. It's fun. It's cute. I couldn't pass on it. It was just one of those things where I was like, okay, I know this item will sell. No, oh, I don't have any more of my big pieces of tissue paper, so I'm just gonna wrap this a little bit oddly in this one that is a bit torn. I'm not really sure why. And yeah, I will pick up merchandise related to television shows, bands, especially if I'm buying it at the bins. It's not a huge investment to take a risk on something like a Schitt's Creek top. I have watched Schitt's Creek, but I am not a fanatic, or I have not watched the entire series, so I personally do not know the Rose Apothecary connection. You just pick up on these things and roll with it. You know, it's like, hey, it's worth it. Fast sale. This is actually staying in Colorado. The next item I sold is a pair of vintage Gromichi. Let me see, this tag isn't very good, so I'll show you this one. Gromichi is formerly made in the United States climbing brand, as in rock climbing. A lot of the clothes they designed are actually designed to incorporate features that a person would need when they are rock climbing. For example, this has a loop on the side to hold your chalk bag and things like that. So once again, another item I'm not wrapping up. I don't have any more of my big tissue sheets here, and I'm not concerned about this being damaged. So this is headed off to Providence, Rhode Island. I believe these sold for $50 or $55. I will put it up on the screen. I always pick up, being in Colorado, vintage made in the USA Gromichi pants, or yeah, I don't think I've ever found any other Gromichi, or maybe shorts. I always pick it up, and it does pretty good for me. I don't find it a lot, but I definitely pick it up. I always lean towards the cool made in America stuff, which means it's, you know, 90s vintage, 80s, 90s vintage. After 2000, they probably started to produce in China. This is actually a super fun one. This is a Free People, very current Shacket. It is called the Ruby. I don't know. I will put the exact name up. I don't have it on the top of my mind, the specific name of this, but obviously Shackets right now are very popular. I picked this up a week ago at my local Goodwill, and it's in lovely condition. I had it in my closet. I posted it on Sunday for $100. There weren't many on Poshmark. Maybe a couple, and so I posted it for $100, and someone offered me $90, and I accepted. So this sold for $90 after being posted for about 5 hours. I have it set up in my closet to not do offers to likers on items that are newer in my closet, especially an item like this. I'm not sending out auto offers right away on it. So I'm gonna send a fun plant that says Robert on it. And this person, their address is actually a business name. So this is going to another reseller in Washington, and I hope they enjoy it. It's a small, but it's super oversized, as you would expect. This paper is not perfect, but it does look like I put in a little bit of effort. I might have gone one box larger if I knew if I was sitting in front of all of my packing materials, but since I'm not, I'm just gonna stuff this in here and make it work. And I hope the buyer loves this. What a lucky find. This was a score. Amazing. Sometimes you just have those days where you don't really pick up very many things, but the things you pick up are fabulous. And I would say that is one of them. Next up is a pair of Vejas sneakers, Vejas. I actually bought these on Posh. I love the color of them. I love the style of them. And they fit me. They just like weren't the type of comfortable that I was looking for. So oddly enough, I would not say they hurt my feet, but my feet didn't love them. Like, they weren't like, oh wow, I could wear these all day comfortable. They were just like average. So because I'm a reseller, I'm like, you know what? I'm not holding on to these. I'm just gonna sell them. And that's what I did. I went back and forth with the buyer on these, and I had them listed for $80. I sent out an offer to likers for $68. The person came back and offered me $50, to which I declined the offer. I was willing to just actually sit on these. And then I'm curious to see if I could ship these vans in this box, so that would be too weird. So the person came back and offered me, I declined. They offered me $60. I was like, and then I countered offered $80 to the $60. And then they came back to the original $68. So I didn't have to pay any shipping on them, and I sold them for $68. Sometimes negotiations are weird on Poshmark. My next sale was a pair of Vans for $20. These were my husband's, and he wore them a little bit. I actually put in the listing, I haven't washed these, it's up to you to wash them, and they sold for $20. I'm shipping these in this regional rate box B. I'm gonna do all the packing up. See how nice they fit in here? So A is the ones that I use for like a size 8 and smaller, and rate box B is what I use for boots and shoes that are a little bit bigger. And last but not least, the star of the show, a primitive Santa. Now, primitive Santa was in my closet for maybe since November, not a really long time. And I had them in my closet for $100. I sent out probably an $80 offer to Likers, and I received a $60 counter offer. I accepted the $60 counter offer. Heck, this could be an heirloom Santa, and someone just got a slamming deal. A lot of these go for a couple $100, but guess what? I'm making some money. The person will be happy, hopefully, with their Santa, and I'm shipping it off. Now, I can't think of a great USPS box for this, so I'm simply reusing this Amazon box.